This is your 1998 Toyota Supra RZ.
Hello YouTube. Yes, today we're going to be doing the Toyota Supra. We're going to be doing a drift build as a request, and also something that I wanted to do anyway. This is a car that was sort of known for, because it was the car that I decided to do all my battling in when I used to do competitive battling on Forza 4. Well, we'll just keep the stock engine 2JZ, can't go wrong. We'll keep the twin turbos. Actually, do I want to? I'm going to stick a custom turbo on it actually, so you can get more power out of it and it's not really much different. But yeah, this is the car that I spent most of my time in during Forza 3 and Forza 4. In fact, Forza 4, for the most part, I spent a lot of time trying to find a different car, and I couldn't find one that I liked better and that I could use better. So, yeah, that was a car that served me well, and really pleased with it all the way through. I won lots of battles in it, and yeah, it was pretty good. So now I've come to actually make one on here. Well, I've already got a couple on here already, but I haven't actually gone and done a proper tune for it on Forza 5. Forza 4 and Forza 3, I managed to get it pretty much perfect, I think, and I haven't really managed to get it quite right on this game just yet. I have tried, but I haven't really put the amount of time into it that I really need to be able to get its full potential out. So hopefully this might end up being a longer video as a result, but that's what I want to try and achieve with this build. Is trying to get a car that's really top notch and going to be really good for battling. Like, for example, you've seen already I've put a sport tyres onto it, and that's not something I've done so far in all these drift builds. I've been using street tyres because I've just been trying to make a car that I know will work. But I'm using sport tyres on this because I want to try out and see what I can do with sport tyres, because on this game they seem to be extra grippy, whereas on the previous games you could still get the amount of grip that you want out of street tyres. They weren't quite as quick, but they were a lot more easy to use, and I could really bring out the full potential in them. Whereas on this game, I just don't know anymore. It's a new steering wheel for me, brand new physics. If everything feels completely different, it's completely thrown me off. And also, I don't play as often as I used to. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting, just to see what I can do with this car now. In theory, I should be able to do pretty well in it. It's a car that I do know very well. I think also from when I was looking at it before, I think on this game the engine doesn't go up to as high a horsepower as it used to, which is really weird. When you see, like in Formula D at the moment, you're seeing over 1,000 horsepower 2JZs in that series, which is just mental. And that's what they're capable of. Like, you can get a 2JZ to over 2,000 horsepower. I know that sounds crazy, and it's probably just a mind-blowing figure for some of you, but it's true. You get drag Supras that are just kitted out for drag racing, and they just have this astronomically overpowered 2JZ in it, and massive drag tyres on the back, and they just go like hell. But I think this on this game you can't actually get them up very high, which is why I put the custom turbo on it, because it's going to need it. It's going to need that extra power, especially with the sport tyres. I found that on this game the sport tyres are pretty grippy. Like, you can't really, I don't know how to put it really. Like in the previous games they were easily usable with a car that wasn't maxed out in power, but on this game, look, I'm putting race upgrades for everything just to make sure that I can use sport tyres on this car. Because what I want is a balance between the amount of grip it has and... Look, I'm still under 600 horsepower. What is this? This can't be a 2JZ. It's got more torque though. It's got plenty of torque. It's weird, man. How can an engine change from one game to another? I don't understand. Anyway, we'll see what we can do with that much horsepower. If it needs more, I could stick a race turbo in it. Or maybe even we might have to downgrade to street tyres if I'm not happy. But that's what this would be all about, really. Okay, so I've gone with a more acceleration based final drive, just so I can really concentrate on what I'm doing with the gears. Oh, wrong way. Push that gear down a bit then. Okay, I think they'll be alright. I'm going to go with the standard. This is the alignment that I had on my Supra in Forza 3 and Forza 4, so hopefully it's still good. And as you know already, it's the alignment that I had on pretty much all my cars. Now I'm going with the sort of setup that I've used in previous games on this car. I know roughly where each setting was, roughly. And yes, I did have the front end an inch higher, something that I do like on my more competitive cars. But yeah, that's the purpose of this build, is to make a car that's competitive, and if I took it to a battle, then I'll be able to do my best in it, because it's a really competitive car. You have to forgive me if I sniff. I've got a cold at the moment. You might be able to tell my voice is a bit stuffy every now and then. I'm probably mumbling like hell. But it's really hard to speak clearly when I've got these headphones on, because I use headphones to make sure that you guys don't hear the game sound coming through my mic. And I don't know, I find it really hard to articulate my words properly when I can't really hear myself properly, because my headphones are... It's like having your fingers in your ears wearing these headphones. It's really weird. Anyway, we're going to see how it is. God, we're already nearly 9 minutes in. It's a quick test. I should be able to go from a standstill in a second and not have too much wheel spin. See, this is the difference between this game and previous games. The sport tyres just have unbelievable grip. Yeah, going around that first corner there was pretty difficult. I don't know if you can hear, but the car sort of bogs down a little bit. It's not bad. But to make this car really competitive in tandem battles, it's going to be... But it's going to need more power, basically. Whoa! As a single run, if I was just going to be doing qualifying laps all the time with this car, qualifying runs, it's probably pretty much perfect for that, because you can just floor it, pretty much. I can't even start. It's too much grip, it just stalls in second. Yeah, you can pretty much... See, I'm just flooring it the whole time. Oh, so it's pretty good for a qualifying run, but for tandeming, say if someone made a mistake in front of me, I'd have to rip the handbrake up and give it a massive clutch kick. Oh, no, that was gay. Okay. Oh, that rumble strip messed me up. Yeah, if someone made a mistake in front of me, then it'd be really hard to adjust to it, because this car's just got so much grip. Seriously considering street tyres with the same amount of horsepower, because then it would just be a bit more manageable. It's not bad, not bad. Alright, I'm going to stick some street tyres on it, and we'll see how that feels, but so far I think the tune is alright. I think it feels okay. Entry is a little bit difficult, but I think hopefully the street tyres might help that. Because upon entry, I don't know if you noticed that I had to adjust my entry pretty much every time. That might be due to front tyre grip, so I'll lower that down a little bit. Right, let's test drive it. See how it goes now. I don't know about this car, man. I really want it to be really good. I want it to be the best it can be. But I also don't want to make this video too long, because it would just be me going round and round and round, umming and ahhing, wondering what's wrong with it. Whether it's me and my driving, or the car being uncooperative. You know, they could have... I know this is in England, this track, but they could have made it sunny. It's not rainy every day here. It just looks so grey and horrible, this track. Instantly I can feel the power coming through a lot more. Yeah, sport tyres they're too grippy. If you want to use sport tyres, you've got to have at least 600 horsepower, which is crazy, but it's kind of accurate. I mean, even street tyres in this game have got enough grip for that second gear to not get any wheel spin. Man, 2JZ just feels so underpowered this game, it's crazy. Alright. See what we can do. See, I can just feel the... I don't know if you noticed, but I can get a lot more angle now that I've got the street tyres on. That's probably because... Wow, it just stalled. That's probably because the street tyres have got less grip, which allows the power to come through more, which allows me to use them a bit more. Use the power of the wheels a little bit more in getting more angle. Now, what I do want to do is just soften the rear anti-roll bar. Let's get a little bit more rotation in the car for entry. Make that entry a bit better. Front stiffness could go up a slight, little tiny bit. And go a bit softer. That's fine. In general, I'm just making the rear a little bit softer and the front a little bit stiffer. Just going to see how that goes. Give it a little bit more diff. Car's a little bit smoother now. I think that's pretty good actually. Right, now I'm going to see just how much angle I can get. Ah. Yeah, I didn't really care about the line I was taking there. Flat out in first. I don't wheel spin, well, only a little bit anyway. Oh! Correction. Not enough throttle coming into there. The car actually stalled when I did that, for some reason. It's not enough power to keep the wheels spinning. Right, let's try a backwards entry, see if we can't embarrass ourselves. A little bit rubbish, it's cool. Styled it out. Man, this car's really smooth to drive. It's pretty good. Let's try it on a different track. Let's try it on Abu Dhabi, because that track is pretty bumpy and excuse me, it's pretty difficult to get right if your car's not set up and can deal with the bumps. So So we'll try it in Abu Dhabi. I think this car is quite good so far. I don't know what it is with the amount of grip it's getting round the corners seems a little bit inconsistent. I want it to have grip because that equals speed, and if you can make your car extra grippy when you've got it full throttle going around a corner and you can still feel it pulling and wanting to grip up, then that means you're going to get the maximum amount of speed that you can get out of that car. What I don't want is for that to cause stall outs, which it is sometimes. Sometimes it feels a little bit underpowered as well, which isn't good. See, it's not got enough power to do this track. I definitely want it to have enough power for this track, because otherwise it would be crap. Right, I'll try it one more time. If I still feel like it hasn't got enough power, I'll go put some more in. Maybe give it the race turbo. And maybe cams. I mean, the 2JZ is just so underpowered this time. God knows why. Yeah, look, I can't get to this corner. Yeah, alright, I'm going to put some more power into it. And then we shall finish this off. Because I think it's pretty much there. With the adjustments I did, it rotates a little bit nicer now. It's a little bit smoother. And it's driving pretty well. I mean, the gears are really nice as well. I mean, there's not so many tracks on this game that I like to drift. So it's not like on previous games where I wanted to make sure the gearing was exactly right so I could use it across all the tracks. But in this game, there isn't really much tracks to do, so not really too worried. Yeah, that'll probably do. $5.40. See, it's weird though, because on Forza 4 my Supra had about 650, maybe a little bit more horsepower. I think it was something like that. But it only had like 450 pound per foot torque. I think it was 453. And on here I've got 500 pound per foot torque, but a lot more horsepower. And the torque just doesn't seem to be there though. It's really weird. Oh, didn't want to do that. Alright, let's go back there. See how it does. And then do a couple of runs and close this off because... Wow, 25 minutes. It's a long episode. But yeah, Supra, not as good as it was in Forza 4. Forza 4, it was a really, really good car. And it was definitely my favourite. It's got these wide tyres. And it can just kick ass because it was like wide tyres, wicked engine. But in this game, the engine really lets it down. There you go, I can reach that corner this time. But, you know, like, I've had to resort to a race turbo upgrade and street cams to be able to get this car to enough horsepower where it can actually do that, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's a 2JZ for God's sake. It should be getting like 1,000 horsepower when it's maxed out. Man, I hate the rumble strips on this track. Whoa. Yeah, when you go backwards over the rumble strips on this track, they send you flying. Alright, let's do one more run, and then I'll close this off. I'll give my verdicts on my previously favourite car on Forza to drift. It's actually not too bad now. I've made it better with the more horsepower. Yeah, this car is... it's decent now. It's not the excellent car it once was. I used to really love my Supra on Forza 4, but I don't know, now it's just not as good anymore, man. It's got an engine which just feels like it hasn't got any torque all the time, and it's, you know, it's got plenty. It's got like 550, but it's just nothing compared to like a V8 in a... oh no. I think to warm up today, before I did the video, I drifted my Nissan GTR, the R35, and I have a, you know, the standard V8 swap that you can get on like nearly all the cars. I've got that in my GTR, and it was so easy. It didn't even have as much horsepower as this car, but the engine just behaves properly, and it gets enough wheel spin to be able to drift nicely. But this car is completely different. It just doesn't feel like it's quite there. I mean, you guys might beg to differ, but I'm really disappointed in this car in this game. Really wish the 2JZ could get more horsepower. If I could, I'll give it like 700 horsepower and give it sport tyres, because that's clearly the way to go on this game. But it's just not there, man. But anyway, if you want to make a Supra, then follow this this build, make this car, try it for yourself, see what you think, because it is really good. Like, there's no denying this is a brilliant car to drift. Certainly better than a lot of the other cars on the game. But in terms of where it was on Forza 4, it's gone down a notch, man. It's not as good as it used to be. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, guys. And I'll see you next time.